I'd never taken a real vacation by myself before. Most of my life had been spent tied to family trips, loud, crowded, scheduled to the hour. But last year, I decided to do something just for me. A solo road trip to Salt Lake City. 10 hours behind the wheel, just my music, my thoughts, and the open road. I was craving silence. Not the kind you get when everyone else is asleep, but real silence. The kind that wraps around you like a warm blanket. Being alone wasn't something I feared. In fact, I longed for it. I looked up both hotels and Airbnbs in the area, and surprisingly, the Airbnbs were nicer and cheaper. The only catch was that the more affordable ones were a bit outside the city. I didn't mind. I was driving my own car and didn't have any plans set in stone. So I picked a cozy little Airbnb tucked away in a quiet neighborhood about 20 minutes from downtown. It was a small, one-bedroom place with a clean kitchen, a big couch, and a smart TV. Simple. Peaceful. Perfect. I pulled in around 6 in the morning on a Sunday, road-weary but satisfied. The owner, a man named Richard, had texted me the keypad code for the front door, and everything worked like clockwork. I brought my bags inside, dropped them just past the entrance, and stood there for a second, just taking in the space. Compared to the cramped apartment I shared back home, this was heaven. I tossed myself onto the couch and flipped on the TV, letting the soft drone of some late-night cooking show wash over me. I didn't even realize how exhausted I was until my eyes slipped shut. It was only 7 p.m., but my body had other plans. When I woke up a few hours later, it was a little past 10. The TV was still glowing softly in the dim room. I reached for the remote, turned it off, and sat up, groggy. My mouth was dry, so I shuffled toward the kitchen to grab a glass of water. And that's when it hit me. A sudden, ice-cold breeze brushed across my bare arms. Confused, I blinked and turned to my right. The front door was wide open. My stomach dropped. Not cracked. Not ajar. Fully. Open. My heart began to pound. I stood frozen, staring at the doorway, a black void yawning into the night. For a second, I wondered if maybe I had been so tired that I forgot to close it properly. But no, that wasn't right. I distinctly remembered locking it, even testing the handle before crashing on the couch. Panic kicked in. I slowly walked over and shut the door, gently, as if not to disturb something that might still be in the house. I locked it, then stood there in the silence, ears straining for any hint of sound, any creak, shuffle, breath. Nothing. Still, I wasn't about to take chances. I crept into the kitchen, grabbed the largest knife I could find, and started clearing the house room by room. My heart pounded in my throat as I checked every corner, every closet, bathroom, bedroom, under the bed, behind the shower curtain. Nothing. Nobody. That only made things worse somehow. I pulled out my phone and sent a message to the host. I explained what had happened and asked if maybe someone else had access to the house. Cleaning crew? Maintenance? I wasn't expecting an immediate response. It was nearly midnight, after all. I triple-checked every window and door, made sure they were locked tight, and then, despite it all, I collapsed into bed. I didn't expect to fall asleep again, but I did. And when I woke up next, it wasn't to sunlight or my alarm. It was to a sound, a soft, barely there noise, from just outside my bedroom door. It wasn't the hum of the fridge or the creak of the building settling. It was deliberate, present, alive. My body froze. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. I just listened. I wasn't alone. Someone was on the other side of the door. I sat up slowly, barely making a sound. My mind raced with possibilities. The door had been open. I checked the whole house, but maybe someone had hidden. Maybe they'd come back. Maybe. No. The keypad. Only the homeowner had the code. Was it him? The thought didn't exactly comfort me, but it gave me something to hold on to. Maybe this was just some old creep who liked to spy on guests. Maybe he snuck in after I fell asleep. The idea made me furious. I slid out of bed and reached for my phone to call the police. But I must have made too much noise. The second I moved, I heard footsteps, a sprint down the hallway, moving fast toward the front door. He'd been right there, standing right outside my bedroom, for who knows how long. That was it. I called 911. By the time the cops arrived, the intruder was long gone. There was no sign of forced entry. Nothing stolen. Just that awful, bone-deep feeling that someone had been watching me. The police did a sweep, took my statement, and advised me to find somewhere else to stay. I didn't need to be told twice. I checked into a hotel downtown before the sun came up. Later that day, the Airbnb owner responded to my message. He was shocked and horrified by what had happened. But he had an alibi. He wasn't even in the state that weekend. Security footage from his own home proved it. He refunded my stay and apologized profusely. He seemed genuinely kind, a soft-spoken older man who was just as disturbed as I was. That should have made me feel better. But it didn't, because now the mystery was even darker. If it wasn't the owner, then who was it? How did they get inside? And why didn't they hurt me? Why did they just watch? The image that haunts me most is that front door, open wide to the night. Knowing what I know now, it's terrifying to realize that someone walked into that house while I was sleeping on the couch. They saw me, passed within feet of me, and instead of leaving right away, they stayed. They waited. They watched. And to this day, I don't know what they wanted. But I know this: I'll never stay in an Airbnb alone again.